So let's finish up the end of May and finish the transition from step 6 into step 7, where we can start crushing our debt, and I'll show you the reconciliation side of things as well. So it is now May 31st, and John and Sarah have now typed in the date, and they, as we can review, they now know that they have more than needed for what their original savings goal was. We established how much money was the difference between what was in the account and what they want as their new zero, which will be $47.05, and that came to this amount right here. So at the end of the month, this is what I would do if it were me. We have 3 different goals, which means that there is money that is going to be moved 3 different times. I would recommend doing each of these in real time, one at a time. Again, this is why mobile banking is so important to have, because you're able to do these things very, very quickly. So the first thing we would do is we would look to move some money from our operating account, because everything goes in and out of this account, into our savings. And it has already been established. That would be $76.27. Once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to do all of this right here on your chart, but I wanted to add this so you know what it would look like to understand the process. So what I would typically do is I either have a calculator or I do it all here in the spreadsheet. The first thing that we're doing is building our savings. So we're moving $76.27 into that account. So our primary checking account we have equals this much money in it right now, and you're going to be taking out of, so minus 76.27, and that's going to be your new balance in your checking account. Now in your savings account, you go equals, this is what you have right now, plus, because you're adding to it, 76.27, that will be your new account right there, money in that account. So again, I would make that transfer right now, and I would just say transfer from checking to savings $76.27. If you have different banking accounts, you might have to take a day or two to connect those accounts so that you can do transfers in between banks, but that's very easy to do. But if you have the same checking and savings account within the same bank, most banks will allow you to do it, and it'll do it automatically. So now we've completed this first piece, and now my updated account would be $53.91.47, and my savings account will now have $287.30 in it. You see it's still 56.78, 56.78, and boom, you're all set. So now I would go to the next step. Now we want to make an overpayment on our debt. And remember, this is an overpayment, as I mentioned in the book. You do not want to make a payment and have them start withholding your monthly payments. This will be served as an overpayment. So the account that you want to apply this to will be the account that you have prioritized. And if your number one priority is this $600 credit card bill, well, looking at what we have, you're actually making a payment of $610.19. So for this month, it would only be $600, and you would have that now completely paid off, and you just got $10 more to work with next month. So we know that we can pay off this loan in full, paying $600, and simply I would do that again right now. So I paid off that loan. I now owe nothing. The $600 is paid off. That payment will go away. You now have one less loan to worry about. That has been completely paid off. Follow me here. It does get simple over time. So we just paid $600, not the $610.19, which is okay. We do the same thing. This is coming out of our newly updated checking account number minus $600. That means that now we have $4,791.47 to pay. Now, if you want to get crazy, you could pay $10.19 off onto another account, but I don't think you necessarily have to do that right now. So maybe for this month, I would just type in that I paid $600 instead of the automatic 80%. You'll see this updates it right here. So now what's left in our account is $47.91.47. And then the last piece is now we're starting our investment. So we have $76.27. And you would again do that right now. You move money from your primary checking into your investment account for $76.27, which would mean that this goes down by $76.27, and this investment part will go up from, well, here, which is $76.27. So at the end of your month, it'll look like this: $47.15.20. You have your $287.30. You still have nothing here because we haven't started that one yet, and you have $76.27 in this account. This has $46.38. Oh, my bad. We already did that once. That is something that, remember, you want to delete that once you're done, because they'll change every time because of the equation. That's why sometimes I use a calculator. But again, to check your numbers, so you ended up only netting $284 in cash, but you paid an additional $600 towards your debt, so you come back to that $884.53, just like you would expect. So if this kind of helps you a little bit because it includes your debt, you can use this before you type in your final numbers. But again, once you get the hang of it, it's not something that you'll necessarily have to do. So you now have $4,715. You type this in at the very end. You have $287.30. You have nothing here. And now you have $76.27 in that account there. And that finishes that out. So in the next video, I'll show you very quickly how to then update that in your year as well as your lifetime, and hopefully you guys now have a pretty good idea of how to move money around and how that all kind of works. So if you have more questions, you can always email me as well, and I'd be happy to help you out with talking you through any of these examples.